Welcome to another deep dive. Get ready to see the world in a whole new way, because today we're exploring the fascinating realm of fractals.
And their connection to music and nature.
Exactly.
We'll be taking a look at Chapter 2 from the book The Declaration of Interdependence.
By Terry Sanders and Steele.
Yes. And this book introduces a really interesting concept they call fractegrity.
We'll definitely unpack that term later in the deep dive, but I think just for now...
Just to give everyone a taste of what we're talking about.
Yeah, what it means is...
It suggests that if we can understand the fractal nature of reality...
that could actually give us the power to make a difference in the world.
Exactly.
Powerful stuff. And the chapter is full of fascinating examples, like how fractals appear not only in ferns and snowflakes...
Right.
But also...
the galaxies.
Yeah.
And our own bodies.
Okay, so let's start with the basics, just so we're all on the same page.
Sure.
Can you explain what a fractal is? In a way anyone could understand.
Okay, think about a tree. With its trunk branching out into limbs, then smaller and smaller branches, and then finally tiny twigs.
Okay.
Or picture a snowflake with its intricate repeating patterns.
I see what you're saying.
So these are both examples of fractals, which are just shapes that show the same patterns at different scales.
So it's like if you zoom in, you just see the same patterns over and over.
Exactly.
That's kind of wild when you think about it.
It is. And the authors actually say that this self-similarity...
Just repeating at different scales.
Right. It's more than just a visual trick.
Oh, really?
It hints at a deeper order within these systems that look chaotic.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they actually present this equation: natural equals real divided by artificial.
Whoa. Okay, what's that all about?
So this is our way of saying that natural systems, those that haven't been touched by humans, are more likely to show these fractal structures.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, a jagged mountain range versus a perfectly straight skyscraper.
Right.
That skyscraper just doesn't feel... Yeah. And there are so many examples of fractals in nature.
Oh, yeah, the book is full of them.
Ferns, snowflakes, hurricanes.
Even the network of blood vessels.
In our bodies.
Yeah.
It's like this hidden code embedded in the universe.
Yeah, and those patterns, they repeat across all these different things.
Right.
Which suggests this deep connection between everything.
It really makes you wonder if the same forces are at play, whether you're shaping a tiny fern or a massive galaxy.
It's pretty amazing.
It is. Okay, so things get even more mind-blowing when we talk about the Mandelbrot set.
Oh, yeah.
The book describes it as a window into infinity.
I like that.
Me too. So this is an incredibly intricate shape.
And it's beautiful, too.
It is. And this shape comes from such a simple idea.
It does. The Mandelbrot set is created by just repeatedly applying a formula to numbers.
Okay.
And you just observe whether those numbers explode to infinity or stay within a certain boundary.
Okay.
And the boundary between those two outcomes, that creates the Mandelbrot set.
So even within a finite boundary, you have the potential for infinite complexity.
Exactly.
It's like how a tiny seed
contains the blueprint for an entire tree.
Or even our own human brains.
Right, and that's the point the book is trying to make.
I see.
There's so much potential even within something that seems limited.
So the interconnected black regions of the Mandelbrot set that look almost like outer space.
Yes.
That's hinting at this vastness and interconnectedness of everything.
Exactly. And just like when you zoom in on the Mandelbrot set,
you see more detail.
You see more detail, and that's like the universe or ourselves.
There's always more to discover.
Always.
Okay, my mind is blown.
I know, right? It's pretty amazing.
It is. Let's shift gears for a second and talk about something a little more familiar.
Okay.
Music.
I like it.
Me too. So it turns out music also has these fractal qualities.
It does.
Which I just never would guess.
I know, it really highlights this idea that math underlies everything. Yeah, the book uses these examples of octaves and perfect fifths in music.
Okay.
And the ratios of their frequencies create these self-similar patterns.
Wait, are you saying that the music that we think sounds beautiful is based on math?
Absolutely.
So maybe math isn't so boring after all.
And here's the really cool part.
Okay.
When these musical relationships are graphed, they look like fractals.
Whoa!
So what we think of as harmony might actually be rooted in the physical resonance of math.
So the beauty of a Mozart symphony and the intricate patterns of a fern could be connected.
On a fundamental level.
It's like they're speaking the same language.
It seems that way. And the authors actually compare the graph of a musical scale to an X-ray of a conch shell.
Wow, that's an unexpected connection.
It is.
So we've seen how fractals show up in nature and in music, but what about in our own lives?
Right.
Can we apply this idea of fractal thinking to our personal experiences.
That's where fractegrity comes into play. The book says that fractals can be a powerful metaphor for understanding how our thoughts influence our reality.
Intriguing. How do fractals and our thoughts connect?
Okay, so our beliefs and experiences create these feedback loops,
Okay.
similar to how fractals are made.
Interesting.
Let's say you believe that you're bad at public speaking.
Okay. I can relate to that.
Yeah, so this belief might lead you to avoid public speaking opportunities.
Like, because you're scared.
Yeah, and then that makes you think that you're even worse at public
Well, it's
speaking.
kind of a vicious cycle.
It's a mental fractal.
So we're all walking around creating our own mental Mandelbrot sets based on our beliefs.
And the stories we tell ourselves.
But if we can create limiting mental fractals,
Can we also create positive ones?
that's the question, and that's what we're going to dive into right after this quick break.
Sounds good.